in one of my last episodes, I promised that I would share the writings of really powerful women that I admire. And I wanted to kind of have that dialogue in this podcast. So when you do hear about feminist separatism, it doesn't always come from my perspective, but it comes from all of the radical writings that I have been reading, that I've read before in undergrad, that I remembered from all of my women's lib courses. So I just wanted to kind of spend, the next few minutes talking about those writings and reading to you a little bit from something that I found that I feel is really profound. And I think that women need to hear in regards to separating from men and, feminist separatism. This week has been a little crazy with everything that's going on with the Olympics and the recent, fights with Lynn and Iman and the women and, the girl from Italy being forced to apologize. And I was just saying to myself, they posted recently on the Algeria Facebook page, they posted like a training video. And if you go, I think it's all over Twitter, but if you go, or X, but if you go and you look for it, you see that there are these two men and they're training Iman. They're training. Iman is jumping rope. He's in a park. He's jogging. He's sparring with these guys. They have him in the ring. He's doing crunches. He's jump roping. He's doing sit-ups. He's like throwing a weighted ball, just doing all of these things for training. And I was thinking to myself, this is how you know that religion is poison when it comes to women, because, Algeria is Muslim. It's a Muslim country. They do have Christians there, but for the most part, these men are Muslim men. And I was thinking that all of the work that they put into Iman, claiming that this individual was born a woman, they could have put that same work ethic into an actual woman. You understand what I'm saying? All of the work, all of the training, all of the lying, all of the things that they did to kind of make this person get to the Olympics, they could have easily put all of that work and all of that effort into a girl, an actual girl who was born a girl. But they didn't do that. And we know just recently they kind of posted his birth certificate. And the birth certificate in question was issued in 2018. No one really issues a birth certificate, 19 years after someone is born. It's funny how the birth certificate just kind of sprouted up as soon as his boxing career started. So they needed to kind of play him off as this female so that he can have these victories in women's boxing. But then I was thinking they wouldn't even have to do that if they just didn't hate women as much as they do. I am sure that there's one girl in Algeria who loves boxing because Iman had to box women before he was taken internationally. So why couldn't they put all of that effort that they put into a male into another woman, an actual woman? You see what I'm saying? Do you see how deep the hatred goes? So you would rather hold up a lie and have all of this drama happening because you want to hold up this lie because you feel that a woman should not be the first person to bring something like an Olympic gold medal for boxing to Algeria. This is how deep the hatred goes with these men, these Muslim men, Christian men, all religions, all Abrahamic patriarchal religions. That's just the setup for them. So they would rather go out of their way to have this entire concocted story, and not to say anything, but they tested the boy. He failed all of the chromosomal tests that he needed to participate. He was banned. And instead of them just saying, well, let's just go with a woman boxer from Algeria and train her the same way we've trained him. And hopefully, if she's good enough, she'll make it to the Olympics. No, they had to cheat. They had to cheat because they know maybe their training is probably not up to par. And without cheating, they would have never gotten as far as they made it. And what's so ironic is that this is a religion that teaches that women are essentially trash. They're trash. But women are not trash if it means getting something like an Olympic gold medal and, thousands and thousands of dollars and recognition and, television coverage and all of these things that they're getting that they would have not have gotten if they just, had a girl from Algeria train with them. So they couldn't win on their own with a woman, I'm thinking, because of their training or their training capabilities. So they had to cheat and have a man pose off as a woman to win the Olympic gold or to be on the way to win the Olympic gold. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about how these men know the truth. They know the truth, but they're all in bed together when it comes to the hate that they have for women. And women don't know how much men hate them. So a lot of them have hope. A lot of them have not all men or guys are not that bad or whatever women say to make excuses. But this is just an example of the shit that I talk about. Men hate women's guts. And this is just one example of it, what you're seeing right now with your eyes. And what's so sad about it is that we are actively, constantly being lied to about shit that we can see with our eyes. And this is how I'm reading right now, The Parasitic Mind, and it's a really good book. But in that book, it talks about like the starting of a mind virus and how it happens to all of us. It happens with constant lies. But one thing that you see that men participate in a lot, like what you're seeing, and you're actually seeing this right now, and this is why this is so good that women actually see it. You see the lies. You see the gaslighting. You see something with your own two eyes, and men are telling you, no, 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 no. Don't believe what you see with your eyes. Just trust us. And what are they doing to kind of keep that going? Similar to what they did when they started their religions. It's the constant repeating of a lie, the constant repeating of something that is not true, something that is false, something that you know for a fact is not real. But if you repeat it enough, it becomes real to the people who are preaching it, similar to Islam, similar to Christianity, similar to any of the religions that, these men came up with. These are just lies. And I'm going to get to the reading. I'm reading about separatism tonight, feminist separatism, and I hope you like it. So let's just get into it. I won't read a lot of it, but I'm going to come back to it so that you guys can kind of have that. And of course, if YouTube allows me, I'm going to link the book in the bio. The last time I tried to link things in the bio, YouTube, they took it out. I'm not sure why. But I also have a Substack now. And I love Substack. It's really cool because I love writing. And the name of my Substack is The Stepping Razor. So if you so happen to have a Substack profile, you can check on The Stepping Razor. You could look for me there. I have an article that I wrote. And for my next video, I'm going to be reading some of that article so that everyone can kind of have it and go over there. But yeah, let me get into this video. Yeah, be right back. Chapter 3, Strategy, Separatism. I propose separatism as a viable strategy for women's liberation. There is an important distinction that I must make before defending separatism, and that is between separatism and segregation. As Lucia Valeska writes, the chief difference between the two is how they are used, by whom and for what purposes. Segregation is used by the economically dominant group as a means of social control, i.e., to maintain and perpetuate a given economic, political, and social stratification system, whereas separatism is used by the economically disadvantaged in order to radically alter existing political, social, and economic arrangements. Segregation is an instance of coercive power, a manifestation of domination. Separatism is a means of resisting oppression, a withdrawal of support or action, and potentially a strategy for liberation. Both are powerful political devices. The distinction depends on who is initiating the separation and for what purpose. For example, in South Africa, segregation is used by whites to keep blacks powerless. If those same blacks have organizational meetings, usually impossible under apartheid in South Africa, and keep whites out, that is separatism. The difference here is between involuntary separation by oppressed segregation and voluntary separation by the oppressed separatism. As Valeska states, it is differential treatment, legal and illegal, that created the situation, and it will, of necessity, be differential treatment that gets us out of it. Moreover, feminism is intrinsically separatist, at least minimally, because men are not permitted into consciousness-raising groups, actions, groups, meetings, and most women centers. Well, they weren't at that time. The justifications for these exclusions are usually based on claims that women will be inhibited by or intimidated by men. But the real importance of women working together without men is not confidence or self-esteem, but rather that women can affirm their political accord not connected to any male, i.e., women can be separate beings. By doing so, women's feelings of fragmentation and alienation can be reduced and eventually eliminated. And I believe that the greater proportion of time, and or energy spent working with and for women, the more likely these results will be. Separatism is wide-ranging in degree. Separatism is an action, event, or organization that enables women to participate separately for political reasons. The last part is extremely important, for without it, tea parties and ladies' auxiliaries would be included, which are unlikely to play a role in the liberation of women. Moreover, those situations, tea parties, etc., are unlikely to lead women changing their consciousness or lead to action which change social structures. Here are some of the manifestations of separatism varying in degree. Valuing dialogue with other women, i.e., in consciousness-raising groups, study groups, or political acting groups. Engaging in political or social action with other women, i.e., abortion action groups, rape crisis groups, newsletter collectives. 3, partaking in social gatherings in which only women, biological women, participate, women's dances. Remember how women's dances challenge ideas about what it was to have a good time and that it was possible to do something without men around. 4, working in an environment which is run for and by women, i.e., women's health centers, women's publishing, unemployment centers for young women. Number 5, becoming women identified, giving emotional support to women and involving oneself in sexual relations with women. And moreover, refusing to support men in any of the above ways, i.e., lesbian relationships or celibacy, West 4B. Participating in groups with other women that are concerned with creativity, i.e., theater groups, writing workshops, art exhibitions, music groups. 7, living in an all-woman environment and having no contact with men. This is usually understood to be the standard separatist position, but it is only possible for a limited number of women. Those for whom it is most feasible are women who live in all-women communities in the country. Many urban women limit their contact with men sufficiently to live a strongly separatist lifestyle. While only a few women will live this way, it is important to endorse this as a strategy. It has inspirational value and is visible proof that women do not need men for social, financial, and physical support. Number 8, lesbian separatists might choose to not have contact with heterosexual women in one or more of the above areas. And we already spoke about that on this podcast. And she ends this list with saying the forms of separatism listed above need not occur in this order. It is not a hierarchical list whereby one measures one's feminist commitment. It is important to recognize that separatism is a strategy engaged in by every feminist. It is a fundamental element of all feminist philosophy. Separatism has come in for a lot of criticism, both from within and without the women's liberation movement. I believe it can withstand the criticism that had been put forward, and that it offers women a powerful political strategy. And I'm just going to end it there. And I think what she wrote about the steps that women need to take to separate from men, I love that list because it talks about some of the things that I try to do online in regards to making a really strong online community, creating space for women to speak, um, vetting the space to ensure that it's for only biological women, cutting down the interactions or the engagements that I have with women who are in relationship with men, women who have, they claim to be 4B, like I said before, but they're married, they're in a relationship, they're pregnant, they're newly married, things like that. I love the strategy that she set out, but let me know what you think in the comment section about feminist separatism. This is going to be I have to do this topic for another, I think, 2 videos after this one. So let me know what you think. Please visit my Substack, The Stepping Razor. Also, visit the website, west4bmovement.com. Like, share, subscribe, visit the community section. You know the whole drill already. But thank you so much for kind of listening to this video. I appreciate it. Bye.